Hello and welcome back to Mechanical Mastery. So last time I made this big spinning disco ball of power and it's feeding my supercritical phase shifter quite nicely. Now it hasn't been a lot of time since then, so I haven't actually made an antimatter palette yet, but soon. Now until then we have a couple of other things to do. So I think that this episode we're gonna farm some withers. And last time I tried to farm withers, it didn't really go too well for me. But I hope this time is gonna be different. Anyway, before we actually start farming withers, I'm first gonna have to do a little bit of progression into Industrial 4 going. So the first order of business is to make a couple of fluid extractors. And these are pretty cheap since I'm supposed to make these very early game. So I'm also gonna need the pressure plate. And that's about it. Might as well add in the recipes for some of the other things. So I'm also gonna need the latex processing unit and some kind of block placer. I think it does the foregoing has one. Ish, there's this one. Yeah, I think this one is a bit better. I remembered that the industrial foregoing one can be vertical. So yeah, this one's gonna need a couple more recipes. I think I do have some treated wood. Oh, these are just normal oak planks. Okay then. Well, that's gonna be pretty easy. And we're gonna need not 10. Let's just do 4 fluid extractors. And to be honest, that's probably it for right now. Because I need to actually produce latex to make the next machine. So, I guess I do have a little bit of space here, so I guess we can just place. How do you place this guy again? Like this? Yeah, that looks good. So I can place my fluid extractors here. And yeah, they face away from me. So it should be good like this. Then let's add an exporter down here. Now this exporter is gonna get acacia wood. Or acacia logs, I guess. And the reason is that acacia logs, for whatever reason, are actually the most efficient logs when it comes to making latex. So all these other ones are like 2 med buckets per work, while this one is 4. So that's why I made the acacia logs in the beginning. Now in theory this should already be working. Yeah, as you can see these guys have started. It's because they actually work even without energy. But you know, we're producing 4 million, I think. Why not power these guys? So I'm probably gonna have an energy input on this side. So I think it's extract. And yeah, I guess without that I think that's fine. Then we can add the fluid card and energy card on these. That's to extract. Now we just have to connect them all. And all these should be getting power now. So they should be able to extract latex much faster. Well, let's give this guy a little speed boost. Yeah, okay, there we go. He's full. So I think I could just pick up a bucket from here. And then I think I can just make a latex processing unit now. Oh, I'm missing a bucket of water. Well, okay, I guess this one. And there's no need for this to be really complicated, so I guess I can just place them right there. And I think just a normal fluid card is gonna work. Yeah, there we go. He's already filling up with latex. Oh, he's also gonna need water. Well then, I guess it's time to make another sink. If I set this guy to just extract, does it work? Oh, it does. Oh, great. So, you know what? Let's actually make a compacting drawer. So I'm not sure if that works. Let's see. So I think I can just set the output on the right side like this. Nope, it doesn't work. Hmm. I guess gas for time then. We can set the recipe like that. Oh, actually, I forgot. I have to click on the slot first. Honestly, I'm kinda lazy, so I could just do this. So can I use this for anything else? Or no, I can just split it. I forgot to count out the output here. Do you have an item auto input? Maybe? No, I guess not. Well, this is gonna get a little ugly, but well, that's just how it's gonna have to be. Okay, and that makes plastic. So that can go into just a regular door. And just like that, we have plastic production. Oh, actually, I kind of forgot, but I also need the fluid version of the latex. So let's just put down a basic fluid tank here. Actually, first I'm gonna have to set a filter on this. Do we have a couple of filters left? Yeah. So I think I can filter fluids. So wait, I think I can drag fluids from JI, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's filter this for latex. Now the question is that gonna work? Okay, well, it looks like it. But I'm probably gonna have to set these guys to an out Robin first. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's set all the extract carton round robin. And I think I can add an external storage to the underside. I think I have set fluid mode. I'm pretty sure. And then if I just connect it with the cable, I wonder if I can see it in this. Or maybe I have to make a separate fluid grid. Let's see, let's make one real quick. And I guess can go here. There we go. I can see my latex there. So I think for the time being I'm gonna try to speed these guys up a little bit. Oh, you know what, I didn't actually give this guy's power. You know, that would probably be a good idea. Okay, so next up on the list of machines to make is going to be the dissolution chamber. So this machine is actually quite unique. since it needs a fluid as well as 8 items in order to craft something. I don't think this machine is actually gonna be too hard to automate since I think the crafters can do pretty much everything. So let's give it a quick setup. I think just channel 1 and 2 is gonna be all that's needed. I believe if I go and set the recipe for something, like for example the simple machine frame, it should add pretty much everything. Now if I just request it, it should just work. Yeah, it does. Guess I'll probably have to give this guy a couple upgrades. Actually, let's check on the crafting mod to make sure everything worked. Okay, perfect. I've got myself a simple machine frame. Now I can start working on the next parts. And that is my very first Nether star. Now the questline over here says it's optional. However, I did do some math, so I'm thinking that for every final star shard I'm gonna need like maybe a bit more than 2 Nether stars each. It only makes 16 Nitro crystals and I need 20. So in order to make all the final stars that I'll need, so I'm gonna need 12 shards each. And I think I'm only gonna need to make enough for this guy because the final star does have an EMC value. So I think it's about like 8 final stars. So I think that comes out to like 240 Nether stars. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel like farming 200 Nether stars by hand. So let's make a wither farm instead. Now first things first, I'm gonna need to get some ether gas. So for this I'm gonna need to place a laser drill above a wither. So there's a stasis chamber which basically allows me to keep the wither in one place. Then there's the fluid laser base that I can place on top of it. So the stasis chamber is gonna require an advanced machine frame, which is made using pink slime. So that's why I set that mob farm over there. So I think we should be able to get a stasis chamber. And there's no reason to make the recipe since in the newer versions I could just control click on the plus button here and it autocasts everything. I hope we can get that feature backported to 1.12 somehow, because I'm really going to miss it when I decide to play 1.12 back again. Now I can make multiple laser drills to increase the speed, so I think I'm actually gonna do that just for symmetry's sake. Okay, you know what? I'm tired of constantly missing diamonds, so I think I'll just place a drawer over here and set the auto output on top as well. And give it the external storage. Increase the priority a bit, and there we go. Okay, let's try that again. This time it works. And I'm also gonna need the fluid laser base. So that's gonna need the fresh diamond pickaxe. Alright, so that's about it, I think. Wait, actually, I missed one more thing, so I'm gonna need the purple laser lens. So blue's pretty easy. Now, I also think I had some poppies. Yeah. Alright, blue and red makes purple. So I'm probably just gonna set the recipe for this since it's gonna be annoying to make every single time. Honestly, I don't even think I'll make this more than once, but it's just a bit more convenient like that. And it's already done. Okay, so it's been a little bit since I last did this. So let me see how it works again. Okay, so it freezes the area directly above the machine. So I need to put it in the floor here. Now I think that's not the problem since I think the machine is blast proof. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways. Oh, that's gonna take an hour. Oh, I suppose I can just use my epic rank. Yeah, that works much better. Okay, so in theory if I summon the wither right now, it should freeze it. After I give it some power, of course. Now I do think that this guy is pretty power hungry. Yeah, 1000 RF over 2 seconds is probably fine. So how did the fluid laser base work? You know, this is why I actually made the book, so let's see in there. So that the machine needs density to be directly below it, like 1 block maybe. I'm not exactly sure. Actually, I think if I walk in here right now, it should slow me down a lot. Okay, so I can move, but I'm guessing that the weather probably can't. So at least that's good. Okay, so I'll probably just draw it like this. And see, let's place the laser base there. And put the purple laser lens inside. Now if I put the laser drills here, does it work? Oh, actually they need to face inwards like this. Okay, not like that. Oh, yeah, that worked. So that looks like it works. Okay, so now theoretically this whole thing should work. So actually let me turn it off. I don't want it to make any random fluids and stuff. I guess let's try building a wither. Wait, what happened to my other skull? Oh, I'm wearing it. I didn't know you can wear them actually. So let's see, is this gonna work? I think it does. Maybe. Oh yeah, it is. It's making ether gas. Even though it's not actually working. Okay, let's give these guys some upgrades. So I thought you had to have first a tier 1, there's a tier 2, but I guess not. So I can just give all of these tier 2 add-ons. Alright, so I've got all my add-ons. So let's add all of them in. And let's see, hopefully this makes a good improvement speed. Oh yeah, it does, definitely. Okay, I don't actually need too much ether gas, so I think it's fine. Let me just get like an ultimate fluid tank. So we can extract it with the pipe. And yeah, there we go, there's ether gas. That's actually a cool effect. So let's put an external storage on top. Put it in fluid mode again. Oh, and by the way, I set these to extract only just in case they have get like random fluids inside. So I'm gonna have to like find storage cable over here somehow. I guess the easiest way is probably just gonna be to run it over this way and just down underneath. And I'm pretty sure I should have a connection running along somewhere. Okay, that should work. Yep, there we go. So I have some ether gas now. So the squish health keeps going up. I hope it's not gonna cause a problem when it reaches 300. Cause usually it does the explosion. Oh, I also need to grab a bucket of ether gas in order to complete the quest. And that actually gives me a second bucket, which is nice. So now that I have ether gas, it means I can make supreme machine frames. And this really only has one use, which is to make the wither builder. And the name's pretty self-explanatory, this builds withers. So let's add the recipe for the supreme machine frame. Also, do I have Nether? I think it's an outcast. I should. Yes, I do. Okay, so you also go into the solution chamber. And I think with that, I can make myself a wither builder. Oh wait, I'm gonna need to make more skeleton skulls. Yeah, this is also gonna need to be automated a little bit. Well, now for least I'm gonna manually craft the ones that I need. Okay, first let me build the supremacy frame in my hand so it gets recognized by the frame. Then I can use this to make a wither builder. Now in order to actually kill the withers, I can use a mob crusher. So let me just make a couple of books and a sword. And I think the rest I can just start to craft. So there we go, there's the mob crusher. Now if I remember correctly, this guy's working area isn't very big. Yeah, it's basically one book. So I have to give him a range booster as well. So I have a tier 3 one on Outcast, let's see if that's enough. Oh yeah, definitely. That's gonna cover Wither Chamber for sure. So anyways, let's start building another Wither Chamber. I think just basically the same design as the other one over there is probably gonna be fine. Actually, why am I doing this manually? I'll just use my building gadget. So I think I have one more layer. And I figured out a trick. So if I reload the chunks using F3A, it works. Okay, so yeah, I can see that I have no gaps here. So actually, let me check the range on the Wither Builder. Yeah, I think there's a gap. So I have to put one below the box. So I think this is the metal. Right? Yeah. Let's just make a small platform below. So I don't really think I can automate this thing. I'm probably just gonna feed it manually. So maybe just put two drawers here. Maybe a drawer controller to make things a bit easier. And since I'm feeling extra lazy, I'll probably just make these side the pipes. Since they are just much easier to automate, I think I can even use the vectors as a branch. So let's give this guy some power. And I'm also gonna set run with the redstone signal. I'm not even sure if I need to do this, but main kinda just for safety reasons. I guess it doesn't really matter where this goes. Let's put the mob crusher right here. And with the range down, it should be able to cover everything. Let me actually get an importer. And I get kind of a little buffer chest. So if it's underneath, can I open it? No. Okay, that's gonna work. Okay, then I can set the backside to push. And I think that's gonna work. So let me actually clean the shark just as a precaution. Now I did set a recipe for wither skeleton skulls. So I should be able to make like a stack of them. And now I should be able to just add them into the drawers over here. And they are automatically gonna go in the wither builder. So now if I flick this lever, it should make a wither. Maybe? Oh, right. Okay, I know what the problem is. So actually, because I claimed the chunk, I think I have to create a party, and there's I think something like a fake player of some kind. Yeah, I think allow all fake players should work. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Makes a wither. So I don't think I can actually make more than one at a time. So let's see. Oh, the mob crusher just instantly kills it. Yeah, that's great. But for some reason it's not actually outputting the Nether star for some reason. Okay, what if I just place the input directly on the machine? Okay, the explosions here are kinda annoying. Let's see, does that work? Yeah, it does. Okay, well, I guess the last thing that I have to do is make a sound buffer right there. Like here, I guess. And I can just muffle the wither sounds. And there's probably a couple others that I'll need, so maybe like explosions. Yeah, I think that's about everything. So at least these guys won't be making any sounds while I'm here. I would like to hide the boss bar as well, but oh, it seems like I can't. I think there was some kind of wither muffler, but that might not be in here. Oh, it seems like he said the sound plays globally. So probably just muted for myself then. Okay, yeah, that seems to be working good. Okay, well, I guess for the final thing, let's actually go and check on the supercritical phase shifter and see how much he's made over the course of this episode. And it looks like he's made the very first antimatter palette. So with that, I get 2 more for the quest reward. And that means I only need to make 3 more. So I can make myself a creative chemical tank. Then with the creative chemical tank, I can make myself infinite antimatter. So that's, for example, how I'm gonna make all the antimatter for all the final stuff that I need. And with that, we've done everything that I wanted to do this episode. So for the next episode, I think I'm gonna speed through the progression of power in order to be able to automate the production of nitro crystals. So, I would just like to thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.